I want to give y'all like a quick life hack on fingerboarding because, well, this is only occurring to people that want to learn how to nollie backside flip, nollie hard flip if you're at that rank. Which, if you don't know how to do any of those tricks, I can help you on the way. But this is just my advice for the trick. Like, it's super simple. So, if you don't know how to nollie flip, let me teach you that first. Treat it like the kick flip, and you know how you have your finger like that. Try to teach your middle finger how to do it. So with me, my flips, I do that because it goes around faster and I catch them. The nollie flip, I'd only do it because it makes it easier. If I just do that, sometimes I don't land it. But when I throw my finger out like that, you see how I get them like that? I'll have these in slow-mo just after I show you this, because the main process is pop. If you know how to nollie, sometimes my nollies go into flips. See, I might even throw like a nollie north. A north, when I mean an ollie north, is where your front finger goes off the board like that and you catch it. So it's hard to do ollie, but nollie wise, it's easy. And then there's the back foot, so I'm pretty sure it's the south. It's where your back finger goes out like that. It's hard to do too, with the back finger mostly. But nollies, I can do this on the real skateboard too. I can nollie front, north, nollie north. I just call it nollie front foot because nollie north is like twisting me around. But anyway, the advice for like nollie backsides and hard flips is have your foot in the pocket, and that flicking thing that I told you about makes it so much easier because whenever you have that pop, your board, your fingerboard does that without the flick, it does that. So if you add in the flick on your back finger, it does that, or that. It really is a perfect hack because when you catch them, they're like that. So then you can just get your hand and flip them around like that, or have them perfect rotation and have them just right there. But sometimes I catch them like that and finish it off like with a bit of a power slide revert. But then people that might not help you with nollie front side shoves, because what I do is I do a nollie and then my back finger I push it down because it causes it to do that. Watch. I'll show this in slow-mo real quick. So now you get understanding what I mean, because then you like scoop it. You can also do that with ollies the same way, which is much more easier to me because sometimes it makes me do varial heels. But all it is you ollie and then you just do that, because, and honestly, they're an easy way to do just nollie backsides too, because that finger gets the board in that rotation, so you could get it down without having to do that reverting. So it's just like it's a little bit of a problem because sometimes you don't get it right and you're just sitting there for like 10 minutes having your fingerboard flying that way. But you get the main idea. But with the nollie flip, like I said, with the back finger, it is the best thing ever because it helps you out with nollie front sides too, because you can catch some once in a while. I'll actually catch them early halfway and finish it off. I have done that like a few times, fingerboarding, sitting here doing this trick, but it's not easy getting them at all. Frontside flips are the hardest ones for me, mostly because I can't get the full rotation down. Because you see how I catch it, I land it, and do that immediately. But that's usually how it works whenever doing tricks, which kind of sucks because I kind of wish our fingers weren't limited on the amount of room or rotation that we get, because you can be able to do 360s without having to go to the hospital for breaking anything. That'd be dope. So it'd be like a nollie flip 360. That'd be dope. But I can't say anything like hacks for like kick flips. It's just all on the way. Because with me, I treat it like an ollie, and I fling my finger that way, because it works perfectly. If you just, look, when I do them, I fling them out that way. When I do it like that, I pop an ollie and do that. Then I do this, because I throw out that extra flip, because then you don't get caught on it like that. I know. Now, look. I'm landing them now. Like that, it just, with the flick, it just makes it much easier. And then you can sometimes do a flip where you catch it with your back finger, which is hard. I can do them once in a while, but then you don't want to have it like that, sloppy, because then you can see those kids just doing that. That's all I have to say for the trick, honestly. But I can't help with heels, because those are just like heel flips. Gotta teach your finger to do this curving part, because that's how you do heel flips too. Watch, you have your front finger on the bolts like that. Ignore my back finger, I'm just trying to show you what it looks like. So you're gonna have your front finger out like that, maybe like an actual heel flip, but real heel flips on skateboards is like that. You don't want it like that. I guess you can, but it doesn't work at all for me. It's just horrible. But then you want to get your finger and then teach it how to curve like that and fling it out in that angle. Because if you fling it out this way, sometimes they don't get good. But if you fling them that way, they might just be perfect. I'm struggling with that part. With the back finger, it's probably like that on the pocket, maybe in the middle, or just like that. It's all on you to discover on that trick, because I am still not the master at it. Because I forget to fling it at an angle. Matter of fact, I honestly don't think you have to fling it that way, because that attempt right there, when you seen it flip around, was from that. So I guess you can just flip it that way and then you'll be good. But then you're going to have to practice teaching your back finger how to do that, because it's not easy. It's really, like, it's probably the hardest one compared from the nollie backside and hard flip, because you can just hit the pocket part, get that flick with your finger, and then you'll land them. But with that one, it's all just teaching your finger to curve and then just flick it out that way. It's just way too much. But with the nollie flip, I'll show you what I'm talking about in slow motion. I mean, you can barely see my finger doing it, but as you can tell, when I'm doing that, you can see how I can catch it because of that little trick. Whenever you're doing it just without it, it's like you guess it. Like you just guess it, because then you depend on the fingerboard landing, then put your fingers down. Yes, I kind of did that with mine because that's slow motion exposing me. But it's not easy to catch them, especially when you can't, like, get the perfect timing like you can with kickflips. Like, I have the kickflips down where I can see the grip tape and I know to put my fingers down sometimes. But then with the nollie flips, I'm just assuming that trick is going to be like perfect catch and everything. It usually is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not trying to say what I just said was not true, but it works. Because with me, I get that trick on, actually, it's the best way to get out of like any type of grind or stall. For example, if you were to do this on a quarter pipe, if you have like a Tech Deck little quarter pipe or like any like Black River stuff, you can't get the flick out just by throwing it out. You have to actually use your finger, which on my YouTube channel you can see. I'm pretty sure I posted it. It's me doing a switch blunt stall, switch flip out. In the slow-mo, you can see my finger doing it because that sounded inappropriate. I meant to say doing that flick thing because that's the only way I can get the board to fully rotate fast enough for me to catch it. Because whenever I was doing it at first, like practicing it, when I was practicing it, I was doing it regular without having to throw that flick in, and I couldn't land it. I kept on catching it halfway, like it would be perfect, and then it'd just be halfway. Then I realized that little flick there was going to be the key to solve that trick, or the problem that I had with that trick. But then I'm just sitting there landing it, and it also works for no slides and stalls because you don't really get enough pop to just do that. So you have to like actually throw that flick in there with the time that you have, and you'll land it. Easiest thing ever. Also, what was it? Shoves, frontside shoves on nollies are not easy because there's no like proper way around it. Like you can't just simply like you can with regular frontsides, because you can just flick it out like that. With nollie, you can't really do that because you can see how I'm throwing flips in there instead. That's why I prefer that little method where I told you throw your finger down. Because, and also sometimes that little pocket can sometimes manage to throw one in there. Because like I said, it's just a random trick. Because you can see how the board wants to flick that way. See? So that's why it makes it easier to do all those tricks. This is a long video, but this is my little tip for the trick. I know I mixed up random things, but if these do actually help you in the future, let me know in the comments. And also, if you guys don't have these, they can still work on regular Tech Decks. Don't be thinking that, oh, just because he's a professional, that doesn't mean anything. Because 32mm Tech Decks, like the ones that have those tunable trucks, are the best ones to get because it's like the 34mm that I have in my hand right now, because it has that room that you need to do the trick. Which, matter of fact, if you don't believe me, I'll grab my Tech Deck right now. I ended up getting this Plan B starter pack, I think. I forgot what it was called. Yes, I glued in my old foam tape. That's why you can see red on the outline of it. But I only did that mostly because I want to like actually use this Tech Deck. It's dope. But I can still do the trick because of the pocket has a little bit more pop. Hold up. It's not easy when you don't have enough room. Nothing matters except for those 28, 29 ones that you see that are Tech Deck aren't easiest because of the room. You can still probably do it if you have small little fingers, but since I have big fat fingers, 34 is best. I'm not going to be like our god, Mike Schneider, and have 35, 40mm decks and rock with those and do crazy tricks. But yes, this is the end of the video. Hope you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Hope this actually helps you on any of these nollie tricks, any tricks that I ended up mentioning in this video, because I mentioned a whole bunch of tricks. Yes, I said tricks in like several sentences. Do not mess with me. And have a good Halloween if you're watching this on that day too, because I don't know where you guys are at. because this is just on that one day that you see this posted on, which is October. So I hope y'all have a good time. If you like my channel, like the content that I'm making with tech decks and fingerboards, please consider dropping me a subscribe, hit the notifications bell, maybe like any of the videos that you like that I made. If you do, I appreciate the support. Thank you for 25 subscribers. I can't believe I actually made it there. I'm grateful, and I'm happy to be able to be one of your guys' YouTubers. Not favorite, because I know there's other YouTubers that you watch that are better than me in any single way. Every single way. But yes, I hope you guys have a good time, good day, good night, and see you all later in the next video that I might post. If there's any tricks that you want me to help you out with, let me know. Don't come up with the 360 laser flip. No, make it tricks that you actually need help with. Don't be those idiots, please. Yes, I'm going to try to help you guys out with some of these tricks, mostly because some of these tricks I do know when some of you guys are on the basic tricks like I used to be, like the front side flip, backside flip. Those ones I can teach you on. Just let me know in the comments down below.